Hi guys, it's Trisha from My Trish Advisor, and today I'm gonna tell you about how I got to Mexico. Yeah, so it's really hot here today. Actually, it's not so hot, it's just humid. So I had to put my crazy hair up. So anyways, here's the thing, you guys. I'm really good at making long stories longer. So I'm really gonna try to do my best. Long story short, that doesn't happen with me, is I was living in San Diego, and originally from Iowa, of course, but I moved to Orange County, and I was in Orange County, California for 8 years. And then I moved to New York City, and I was there for 4 years. And I moved back to Iowa, trying to figure out what I was going to do. And then I got recruited back to my old job from Orange County, but they opened an office in San Diego. So I was working there almost 2 years, and I really wanted to do the JETPACK. Now, I don't know if you've heard of the JETPACK. You put this like big contraption on, and you put it on, and you can fly around above the water. It's pushed with a jet ski. So I looked it up in San Diego. It was actually, I think, in La Jolla, like something like that, for $250. Well, in Rosarito, it ended up being in Ensenada for $100. So I was like, well, shoot, I could do a whole weekend and get my jetpack, have a weekend in Tijuana, Rosarito, Ensenada, whatever. So I end up asking 5 of my girlfriends, hey, you want to go? No. Hey, you want to go? No. And long story short, they ended up all being scared to go to Mexico. So I was taking a nap on a Saturday afternoon and decided, you know what? I'm just going to go by myself. So I had my landlords watch my dogs, and I headed out to Tijuana, Rosarito. So I ended up getting there, staying the night in Rosarito one night, and then found out the jetpack wasn't in Rosarito. It was actually in Ensenada, which is another 45 minutes south of the border. Now, mind you, where I was in San Diego, I was only 20 minutes north of the border. So another 30 minutes south, that's no big deal. So one of my first pictures I uploaded of me in Mexico was me sitting or near a cop car, because the guy pulled me over and he kept calling me Barbie. He didn't speak any English, but I'm obviously not a Barbie, maybe a thick, curvy Barbie. And so I was like, well, shoot, if he's flirting with me, I'm going to take advantage of this. So I had him take a picture of me like on his car, and I uploaded it on Facebook, and my friends were like, oh my gosh, you're going to get killed and all these things. And, you know, it was just like, I mean, I had friends very angry at me that I went alone to Mexico. So I did the jetpack the next day, and sorry, I'm sweaty. And I had so much fun. It was amazing. And I ended up starting to date the jetpack instructor. So I was down in Tijuana, Rosarito, probably 6 times a week. Well, within 2 weeks, I decided it would be easier for me to spend the weekends down there if I had an apartment. My apartment in San Diego, which was a tiny studio, was a $800 or $900. This huge 1-bedroom I got, if you know the area, near Coahuila, in Tijuana, it was literally on the border. It was $200. So I got that place, and honestly, I love saying this, but I fell in love with Mexico in Tijuana. I mean, we went to festivals and carnivals. I mean, we saw flamenco dancers. One of my favorite places was Vámonos de Tapas. And we would have like such a nice dinner with wine and flamenco dancing, and I'd spend like $30. All right. And then I discovered, I know my hair looks like crap right now, but I was getting my hair done for $36, including tip. So in San Diego, I was getting it done for like $250, right? So like color, cut, style, treatment, everything the same. And if I was a little more better at making videos, I would have like pictures and stuff. But I will eventually. Like, I've been procrastinating making this video because I wanted to make something more professional and, you know, to kind of show you guys my story. But I'm not video editing qualified yet. I'm barely can take a video. So anyways, so I decided you know, after I got the apartment down there, it was like I discovered Tijuana, Rosarito, Ensenada. We would just drive and we went camping, hiking, fishing, everything. I mean, it was amazing. I didn't realize there was so much to offer down there and so cheap. I was getting my nails done for like $12. Yeah, and then I started looking at dental work because I need some dental work too. But everybody had me so scared actually, and then once I got down there, I realized it's not anything like I thought it was, you know? So then about a month and a half after us dating and enjoying down there, we were at a party and we met his friends, and they're like, yeah, we got jobs in Cancun, we're gonna drive to Cancun. And I was like, oh, well, maybe we'll join you. And everybody in the room was like, really? I was like, well, not all the way. I mean, I don't know how far it is. I had no idea how far Cancun was, whatever. So I looked at a map and I was like, Mexico City looks like about halfway. It's like the same distance from California to Iowa. And I've driven from California to New York and New York back to Iowa and California and all that. So I'm like, oh, I could do that. So Saturday, I met those people. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we were supposed to leave. But they had a car breakdown, which I should have been a little scared by then, but I wasn't. And Wednesday, we left in the morning. So we headed out, and my goal was only go to Mexico City and then go back. Well, I mean, we went to Sonora, Chihuahua, Durango, and oh my gosh, I can't even name them all. But we went through 18 states. And by the time we got to Monterrey, before we got to Monterrey, my gas tank got a hole in it and I was leaking gas, and we were in the middle of nowhere. It was Halloween and I had a gas leak, so we had to empty my whole tank of gas, and we ended up plugging it with what is it called, baking soda and super glue. It was crazy. And then I drove for another, like, after Chihuahua, then we went to Monterrey. Then I got it fixed, welded for 4 hours. It was 800 pesos, which at that time was like maybe $40, right? 800 pesos, yeah. And I was like, for 4 hours of welding, take my money, you know? So we went to Cola de Caballo in Monterrey, and we were driving through the mountains, and we needed to stop. It was like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night, and I hated driving at night, and they all knew it. So we stopped, and literally the next morning we woke up, and there was cascadas, waterfalls, like maybe 30, 40 meters from us. We ended up staying there 2 nights, and then we kept going. And by the time we got to Mexico City, Sassy ended up getting out of the car and we let her run around. That's what we would do. A cop stopped us and we ended up getting charged 200 pesos for her to poop there because they were saying dogs couldn't poop or whatever. And meanwhile, there's stray dogs everywhere, mind you. Okay, anyways, so we keep going. There's so much I can tell you guys. I'm sorry. So we go, we get through Monterrey, then Mexico City, and then we go to Veracruz, and we're in Veracruz and Martinas de la Torre for 3 nights or 4 nights, something like that. And we see my friend's family and spend time with them. We go to the park, hang out. And then we head on our way and we go through Casitas and Tabasco, Campeche, and we stop at one of my favorite ruins now, which is called Bacan Ruins. It was like we were there by ourselves. So we got here and I found a place within a few days. I was staying in a studio apartment on the beach for $350. I mean, I was very excited about a studio on the beach. That same place I think is like $500 or $600 a month now, actually. Within 3 years, it's gone up so much. So I got here and I decided like within 3 weeks, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna move here. I'll figure it out. I don't know what's gonna happen. I really had no plans. And so I went back to California and I sold everything out of both of my apartments in Tijuana and San Diego. Said goodbye to everybody there. Then went back to Iowa to say bye to family. And then I came back and I was literally like on the beach every day. And I was like, well, shoot, I'm like out of money. I better get a job. So I got a job. While I was getting a massage on the beach, this girl approached me and we were talking about like how I needed a job. And she's like, oh, I'm working for a company and we sell art and, you know, maybe you can work with us. So I did a trial period with the company and started in Cozumel, started there. And then they moved me back to Puerto Morelos because we opened up a resort here. So I'd been selling art for the last almost 3 years. So yeah, so that's kind of how I got here. And I know it's kind of long, but I feel like there's so much more I want to tell you. But I literally got here and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to figure it out. I've been given a hard time about like, oh, you can't make money in Mexico. And like I had this one guy tell me like, who moves to Mexico? Nobody moves to Mexico to make money. And I'm like, obviously I didn't, in my head, I was like, I didn't move here to make money. I moved here to like, just have a new experience, a new adventure. And I feel like I've been caught up so long for myself to make money. And I made my first $100,000 when I was 23 and I felt so accomplished. But really in the end, it's like, I don't know, I live more simple and I don't have as like high, I mean, even though I had like a lot of stress, I never took it, I guess, really hard. But here it's just a different way of life. It's a simpler life. It's not as like material possessions. Like you guys, you know, I probably shouldn't point this out, but you'll probably see me wear like the same 5 dresses. Like I don't have, like I have a lot of clothes, but I pretty much wear the same 5 or 6 things. So you guys can make fun of me all you want because, well, I just wear the same things. And I've gained a lot of weight. So that's one thing I want to work on is losing weight. So anyways, I'm here now. I love it. And I want to explore more of Mexico and take you guys along for the ride. So anyways, that's a little bit of my story. And this whole time I had my 2 dogs. One is 22 years old, Chihuahua, and the other one is a 14-year-old. In fact, let me grab them. So this is Peace Out. He was just eating, so he's kind of like mad at me. But this is my 22-year-old. Say hi. How dare I interrupt your dinner, your lunch? He's got horrible breath. He's an old guy, so he's 22. Little guy. And then, oh, careful. And then there's this one. She's my crazy one. This is Sassy. Yeah, she's a little more sensitive. She's not like a fond of everybody, like me. We're Peace Out. Peace Out and I get along with everybody, but Sassy's just a little more finicky. People that had her before, thanks guys, were really abusive, so I tell everybody be careful. So anyways, 12.5 minutes later, if you stay tuned that long, oh my gosh. So anyways, that's my story, you guys. I hope to make a better video that can kind of show you pictures and maybe some video clips or something, but again, I need some help video editing because I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to learn that stuff. Anyways, so that's my Trish Advisor's story on how I got here. Hope you like it. If you guys have any questions, please ask away. And if you want to know more, please follow along and we'll see what happens next. Bye, guys.